everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Repeat! I had an update that came out yesterday. Now I'm streaming it today, and it'll be on YouTube in the following days in a very series of videos. Yeah. Oh shit. No, everything's good. Never mind. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Still on the Sissel route. So we hold him close. We gotta hold him. Gotta know when to hold him. Know when to fuck him. The four of us huddled on the street sidewalk, looking to each other nervously as Sissel caught his breath. He was sitting down, hunched over, with his face in his hands. His tears ran dry about an hour ago, but he was still shaking. Sissel's eyes were red and raw from his sobbing, but his breathing slowly evened out. Jenny sat by his side, looking concerned, and rubbed gentle circles on his back. "Hey, sis, you doing all right?" A spiteful laugh escaped his throat as he looked up to all of us, his voice still hoarse. "No! No! I don't know. I don't even know what's happening anymore. I tried so hard, and it all just blew up in my face. I really am good for nothing." "Sissel, listen, that's not true. You're..." Sissel let out a weary sigh and stood up. He stumbled before catching himself. "I don't need you guys to baby me every time I fuck up. Just leave me alone. I need some time to think." He shook his head bitterly and stood up. Again. The rest of us watched in uncomfortable silence as Sissel staggered down the street without giving us a second glance. Damn. He's running off into the woods again, isn't he? We can't just leave him by himself like this. Shouldn't we... Jenny shook her head doubtfully. "I don't think Sissel's really in the mood to listen to us right now. Let's give him some space to sort out his thoughts. We'll be there when he's open to it." I gripped the hem of my jacket so hard it hurt. Everything felt so helpless. What the hell are we supposed to do? Sissel just hit rock bottom. I can't just leave him and do nothing. A gentle hand rested on my shoulder. Jenny met my eyes with an understanding and equally frustrated expression. "We've been comforting him for the last hour, and now the best thing we can do is give him some space, some peace, and quiet. I just got off of work, so pardon me if I'm a little fucked." Her expression hardened. "What we can focus on is figuring out what Hershel's problem is. There's gotta be some sort of misunderstanding. Hershel really loves Sissel. There's gotta be a reason why he blew up like that. If we can show Sissel this isn't his fault, and there's other factors he's not seeing, this could be a good chance to mend things between them." My shoulders hung heavily. Gotta be careful with me doing that, because I can actually, at will, dislocate my shoulders. Jesus. Yeah, shit, dude. As I stood up from the sidewalk. At this point, I'm willing to do anything if it'll help. Count me in. Jenny smiled gratefully. "Thanks, John. I have a good idea where to start. Wait, where did Philip go?" I glanced around to the empty street in bewilderment. "I swear he was with us just a few minutes ago." "Oh shit, our phones buzzed." It didn't sound like buzz, sounded more like it rang. Ugh. And the two of us simultaneously flipped open our messages. God, flip phones. I get nostalgic about flip phones sometimes. The text from Philip read, "Sorry for running off, guys, but something urgent came up. Owen hasn't been answering my calls for the last 2 days, ever since he left school. I'm getting worried, so I'm leaving to go check on him. I'm sure you guys can handle Sissel's situation. You two are closer to him anyway. Let me know if anything comes up. Philip." He left a name on a text message. A text message, no less. I grumbled and stuffed my phone forcefully back in my pocket. His timing sure is convenient. I'm sure Philip has his reasons. He's got a point, too. Too many people prying into this might make things difficult. The two of us should be able to handle it. If you say so. The two of us? I got a feeling there's a little zibbler than the... If you say so. I must have looked irritated because Ginny placed another gentle hand on my shoulder and nudged me down the street. Come on, John. Don't let that frustration get the better of you. Let's go. The library was empty and cold as Ginny led me through the shelves. I glanced around the old bookcases warily. The place smelled like old paper and mothballs. Remind me again when we're here? Ginny mumbled impatiently as she sifted through old newspaper archives. We're here because there's something fishy about Hershel and the way he's reacting to the whole national champion title. I want to know why. There's got to be a reason. Hershel is usually a real gentle guy. There's more to this than just a simple competition. I just know it. Oh, God. I know. I don't know what it is, but I just know that it's going to be a shit show. Oh, my God. I poked my nose into the dusty shelves and sniffed. Why? Clouds of dust wafted through the air as Ginny sifted through piles of old newspaper articles. Shame Hershel wasn't born during the age of the internet. It'll take forever to find what we need. And then Ginny's just like, ha-ha! As soon as you feel like it's going to take forever, it either will take way longer or not long at all. I wandered down the aisle and scanned the shelves by date. The competition Hershel attended happened around 18 years ago. In August, wasn't it? Big-ass piles of newspapers to sort through. I suddenly felt a familiar cold chill down my spine. No. Oh, it's just okay. They were in that corner to your left. Looks like a lot of papers and tabloids were coverting the event. Oh, my dumbass. Coverting. It's covering. Oh, my Jesus. The event at the time. Oh, thanks, Echo. You're a lovely game. Also, you're a great character. Glad I've still got my little helper ghost with me. Oh! Oh, my jeez! Oh, my darling! Oh, my darling! Oh, my darling, Clementine. The dust fluttered through the air as Echo appeared beside me with a strained expression. Dude, are you doing okay? You look even worse than you did yesterday. Holy shit, that was yesterday. Echo winced as he limped his way towards me like a zombie. John, I need you to listen closely. You're running out of time. I could feel the remnant getting close, and... I'm not sure what'll happen. Just hurry up with your investigation here, okay? I'll do my best to hold the perimeter in the meantime. In the meantime, until what? What am I supposed to do? You can't tell me because it's a matter of time. Ha! Get it! But also, you can't have interdimensional spoilers or else it'll all fuck up. I gulped and stared at the empty space where Echo stood. Whatever was happening, we should probably hurry with our search. I glanced over my shoulder to where Ginny was still sorting through her newspaper pile. Ginny, I found them over here. Oh, that was quick. Let's skim through a bunch of these and see what we can find. There's gotta be a hint as to why Hershel was so mad about this competition. The library clock tick, tick, tick by as the two of us shuffled through the stack of decade-old articles like an anxious rush. Almost said like an anxious fish. We scanned through newspapers, tabloids, advertisements, and magazines for anything out of the ordinary about the culinary event. The press at the time painted Hershel as the rising underdog of the competition and highlighted how he was a culinary prodigy like his sister Cecilia Bradley. Cecilia Bradley Lake. I sighed and tossed another newspaper into our red pile. Have you found anything useful yet? Nothing that particularly sticks out. A lot of these articles were pretty eager to compare Hershel to Cecilia's success, though. This young new finalist is truly living up to his sister's legendary legacy. I mean, it's probably irritating to constantly live in his sister's shadow, but it's nothing to throw a tantrum over. She's dead! She is dead! Hershel was doing really well for himself, too. He even got to take a 5-hour flight across the country to attend the finals. Kinda curious what his sister was doing at this time. She was dead! What did she spend her prize money from the previous competition on? Having a child! I grabbed the article I tossed aside earlier curiously. Well, according to this interview, Cecilia Bradley spent most of her money supporting Hershel's education. What a sweet sister. The rest of it was spent fending off her parents' very illegal debtors who were constantly harassing them after their parents' deaths. I resisted rolling my eyes as I glanced over the gossip section of the tabloid. This says that Cecilia tried to marry a rich gentleman from a nearby city. This article will wait a fuck. A rich dude? Nah. No way. Nah. You don't think. This article reminded me why I never liked reading celebrity gossip. I decided to skip over the parts where Cecilia was called a gold-digging hag and moved on. Damn, dude! The two of them had broken up the year before Hershel's competition. I don't think they broke up, I think she died! This left Cecilia alone to take care of the baby, which with Hershel dropping out of college to help support her. The baby. Oh shit, that tooth is not to be messed with. Got it. The baby! What happened to the baby? I stood and flipped through the tabloid anxiously. It didn't mention anything more about Cecilia's child. I tossed the article aside and grabbed another one. Well, let's see. I don't think Gossip Mags mentioned anything about it, surprisingly. Didn't more say that Cecilia was murdered? Try the local crime section or something. Well, now that you mention it... A local newspaper headline caught my eye. This says that... I gulped. The date's towards the end of Hershel's championship contest. Cecilia and her baby were confronted by her parents' debtors. They got unruly after finding out she presumably didn't have any money. The police searched through Cecilia's cabin in the woods and found signs of struggle. The place was stripped of all valuables. It's presumed that she and the baby were both killed and thrown into Bradley Lake. The bodies were never recovered. Well, technically. Technically? I felt a little sick as I read further. They found one of Cecilia's fingers floating in the lake a few weeks later. Fishermen were even reported to see a crow flying around with one of her scavenged eyeballs. But besides that, nothing. Ginny covered her mouth and looked a little green. Oh, that's unfortunate. I just figure maybe she lost a baby and Sissel's an orphan who showed up out of nowhere, you know? I get what you're saying. A sharp pain suddenly cracked through my chest. All the air left my lungs and I dropped to my knees, gasping for air. What the fuck? What was that sound? John, are you feeling alright? My eyes squeezed shut and teeth gritting tightly as Ginny helped me back onto my feet. The world felt like it was spinning wildly. My head hurts. I don't know. Did you hear that, though? Ginny nodded slowly, but looked doubtful as she glanced around the library. Nobody else in the building seemed to be reacting to it. Everyone kept their noses buried in books as though the thunderous crack from moments ago never happened. Was this a wish's doing? It sounded like it came from outside. I struggled to keep my legs steady, my chest still burning with a stabbing pain. I'm gonna check it out. Maybe you should take a moment to rest first. You don't look so good. Hey, John, wait! I sprinted outside with Jenny following close behind. It is now 1950 and everything is black and white. The pain made the world spin sporadically as I stumbled onto the sidewalk. Glad to see you couldn't make it, John. Oh, Jesus. Where was it? I blinked through the sweat dripping down my brow as I struggled to see where the voice was coming from. That voice, that was my voice! Dermot was speaking with my own voice. What are you doing to me? John, look! What the fuck? Oh, here it is. The big reveal! Grotesque shards of glass were scattered across the pavement. There was a shattered camera lying amongst the grass. And then the sickening realization hit me. Those were Echo's remains. There The nauseating sound of crunching bone reverberated through my skull as the remnant gnawed his way through what was left of Echo's arm. It looked straight at me with its inhumane eyes and grinned through its meal. Finally, I was so tired of feeling empty. The sound of my own voice coming out of that creature's mouth was nothing short of terrifying. Another sharp pain cracked through my chest as I fell to my knees again. Ginny ran to my side and helped me back onto my feet, looking bewildered. Is that the same faceless thing that followed me a couple days ago? The remnant tipped its head towards her in a rabid grin. Yes. And now I can finally give John what he truly wishes for. That old hag in the lake can't hold me back anymore. The remnant crouched down, its back suddenly lurching and bubbling as though something was trying to claw out of it. Oh my god! What the fuck is this? Suddenly a mass of tendrils burst out of its back like maggots from a cocoon. The tendrils shaped into dozens of grotesque hands, each clawing hungrily in the air. The remnant tilted its head and stared towards me. The single violet eye on its head rolled into its socket to peer intensely into me. I will make your wish reality, no matter how many times it takes. Even if I have to repeat this wretched world over and over and over again. It paused and lifted its head as though to sniff the air in search of something. This time, it looks like I'll have to focus on him. Stay the fuck away from him. I know who the hell you're referring to. Hell fucking no. Gina and I stood in stunned silence as the remnant abruptly disappeared before our eyes. After a few moments, I stumbled forward and anxiously reached for the shards of Echo that were shattered across the pavement. They crumbled into dust the moment my fingers touched them. A heavy sense of dread gnawed at my chest as I watched the dust scatter into the air. He's really gone. The pain in my chest continued to ache as the feeling of my wish slowly faded away. Now there's only an empty numbness inside. Ginny knelt down next to me and wrapped a comforting arm around my shoulder. I'm not sure what just happened, but are you doing okay? I pressed a hand against my chest and squeezed my eyes shut. I'm not sure. Everything just hurts now. I don't mean to scare you even more, but what was that thing talking about? Whatever it was doesn't sound very good. I'll have to focus on him. Ginny and I looked at each other for a split second before simultaneously coming to the same conclusion. Sissel. Get the fuck out of those woods, goddammit. Sissel wandered down the cold trail of Bradley Woods while glaring intently at the under his feet. It seemed like he always found himself back where whenever life... What? It seemed like he always found himself back where whenever life felt like it was going somewhere good. He sighed and rubbed his sore eyes again, his eyelids still raw from sobbing for an hour straight. There were no tears left, just exhaustion. Sissel sat down on a nearby log and buried his face in his hands. He was glad Ginny and John weren't around to baby him this time around. But the woods felt a little colder without them fussing over him. He didn't deserve their help anyhow. Even when he tried his best to make things right, everything just took a turn for the worse, making a mess wherever he goes. His parents didn't want him, and now even Hershel didn't want him. Maybe he really was worthless. Aw, that's not true. You know that's not true. John, I told you to leave me alone. It's not John. Sissel jumped and looked around in confusion. Oh, Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, 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 Jesus. There was no one else around. It was just him, alone on a log in the forest. Sissel sat up straight, his hair standing on end. John, is that you? I'm not really in the mood for pranks. I'd never joke about something so important. Are you doing all right? You're not looking too good. Sissel scowled and rolled his eyes. I'm not gonna talk to someone who feels hiding and playing games. All right, I'm coming out. The forest area hissed as something appeared sitting on the log next to him. The fuck? Sissel jumped and nearly topped off his seat in shock. Don't be afraid. I'm just your friendly neighborhood spirit. Ghost thingy. Blech. Even I'm not sure about the details. Sissel gaped at the strange creature mumbling on the log next to him. His first instinct was to run the hell out of there, but there was something about it that felt strangely familiar. He gulped before staring at its horrific face closely. I'd hate to break it to you, but you look like anything but friendly. Hey, I didn't want to be born this way. This is just how John made me. What? Sissel blinked. John made you? Into this? The creature shrugged awkwardly at his disbelief. Depression is an ugly thing. I don't blame him. Speaking of depression, the thing tilted its head towards him at a strange angle. Sissel felt his empty eye socket examining him closely. You don't sound too good. My parents didn't want me. Hershel didn't want me. Sissel's stomach lurched painfully. Stop doing that. I make a mess wherever I go, whatever I do. Maybe I really am worthless. Shut up. Get out of my head. The creature paused and gave him a soft smile with his crooked mouth. You know you're being unfair to yourself. Hershel doesn't hate you, and neither did your parents. Heck, you didn't even know your parents. They could be the sweetest people in the world for all you know. Sissel crossed his arms and stared at his feet uncomfortably. Why did they leave me in a dumpster then? The creature's smile faltered and it hung its head down in silence. And Hershel, I did everything I could to help him out, but he just... Sissel inhaled sharply and sighed. Here I am. I tried my damn best, but nobody wanted it, or me. The creature stared at him quietly for a moment before speaking again. This is really fucking uncomfortable. Our main fucking love interest being comforted by the main antagonist, and it's... And Sissel's eyebrows are way too thick, and I don't get it. The creature stared at him quietly for a moment before speaking again. Everyone is fighting their own battles. I know that Hershel loves you very much, but he's also dealing with a lot of guilt. And as for your parents, I have no doubt your mother loved you very much too. Sissel looked up at it sharply. How do you know that? You're just a thing. The shadowy entity laughed softly and hopped onto its feet. In that case, I'll just have to show you. Follow me. But wait! Sissel gaped and watched as the creature limped quietly down the forest trail and disappeared. Something tells him he shouldn't follow strange creatures into strange places. Well, he could just be hallucinating all this after crying so much earlier today. But that thing mentioned knowing something about his mother. Sissel took a deep breath and stood up. He knows Bradley Woods like the back of his hand anyway. What's the harm in taking a look? It's a lot of harm in taking a look. Are you shitting me? The thing that called itself the Remnant, it's a depressing name, though, so just call me Remy or something, led him to a familiar sight in the woods. The creature beckoned his cabin in the woods. Oh my god. Not the game Cabin in the Woods, but Cecilia Bradley's... Yeah, so they're basically confirming what I had already pretty much gathered, which is that the Lady of the Lake is Sissel's mom. The creature beckoned him excitedly before ducking into the ruined cabin's low door frame. Sissel followed it with a doubtful frown. He lived in this broken down cabin for most of his life and was familiar with almost everything in here. What was this Remy trying to show him? It began digging around in a dark corner of the cluttered room like a dog scavenging for a treat. Bits of rotting wood was flung in the air. Sissel flicked away a wood chip stuck in his fur before peering over Remy's shoulder curiously. The creature suddenly gurgled triumphantly through a mouthful of wood. "Aha! Here we are!" Sissel was startled to see Remy stand up with a scratched-up VHS tape in his mouth. It grinned at him before dropping it onto his hands. Sissel wrinkled his nose at the spit-covered tape and wiped it on his pant leg. There's a lot of CG art in this one. What is this supposed to be? Do you not know what a VHS is? Man, kids these days. Sissel held the smelly tape at arm's length and scowled. I didn't exactly grow up in a technology-filled household. Am I supposed to stick this in a TV or something? The creature nodded his head, almost as if to say, well, duh. I doubt this old thing works anymore, and where would I even find a VHS player around here? All the tech junk in this cabin is broken to hell and back anyway. Remy laughed and tapped its legs on the wooden floor excitedly. That's not a problem. What the fuck? What is happening here? This is bad. Sissel gaped in astonishment. The aged surface of the tape shifted and renewed itself right under his fingertips. The pieces of the smashed-up television set on the cottage floor scuttled together like ants returning to a colony. Shards of plastic and metal slid into place and formed what looked like a brand new TV. Well, not brand new. It had a VHS tape fucking slot in it. No new TV has that. Sissel ran his hands across its surface, mesmerized. Wow, you can make things like new again? This old thing has been lying in the corner for years. It's kind of weird seeing it in one piece. The remnant tapped the TV with its... Quiet! The remnant tapped the TV with its chin and the old static screen flickered to life. Play that tape. You'll find out what you're truly looking for in its contents. Sissel hesitated, feeling rather apprehensive. What was he looking for? The tape in his hand suddenly felt very frightening. But then again, what did he have to lose? Hershel already hated him from his fuck-up, and he was back in the muggy old cottage. Sissel took a deep breath before inserting the tape into the VHS set and pressed on the play button. The screen stuttered and shook as gears in the television clicked into place and groaned to life. Sissel stared intently as the static rolled by, trying to make out something in the mess of shapes. His ears perked up at the sounds of a young but familiar voice. Is this thing working? Thump! Hershel, don't hit it! You're going to break the darn thing! The static of the screen suddenly cleared itself, followed by a triumphant shout. Aha! I got it to work, though! 'Tis all fine! Oh my god! Smile for the camera, sis! Got any memorable words as a brand new mom? Cecilia Bradley stared awkwardly into the camera while busying herself with a small baby in her arms. She looked fatigued, but happy as she gently rocked her arms at a smoothing rhythm. Look, it's a baby. I made it myself. Hershel snorted as zoomed in the camera on the baby's face. He cooed softly as the baby sniffled quietly at the noise. He's so cute! How did an ugly old lady like you have such an adorable kid? I'm gorgeous, thank you very much, and so is my kid. He obviously gets all his good traits from me, after all his father. Cecilia was abruptly silent, her shoulders sinking into a tired slump. Hershel lowered the camera slightly and reached over to pat her back. Hey, sis, you alright? I know you're still going through some shit. That asshole dumped you at the worst time possible. Oh my god! Look at that cute ass baby Sissel. The baby suddenly let out a small squeak and reached his tiny hands out to hold Cecilia's finger as if to comfort her. His hands looked ridiculously tiny in comparison. Cecilia's eyes softened as she brushed her baby's head softly before kissing him on the nose. Aren't you the sweetest thing? She looked up to Hershel with a soft, bittersweet smile. He's so precious, isn't he? Her voice cracked for a moment, and she closed her eyes tightly. Hershel, I'm scared. Jesus. I'm scared of what? Of this. Of being a mom. You know how our parents were. I don't even know how a real mom's supposed to act. What if I mess this up? This little guy deserves better than what we got. The room was silent for a long minute. Cecilia lowered her gaze to the floor apprehensively. She looked so distraught, as though this had been plaguing her mind for a while. Hershel cleared his throat and hummed thoughtfully under his breath. Well, I don't know much about good moms, but you've been a real good sister. Hershel laughed awkwardly, and Cecilia couldn't help but smile a little as well. You pretty much single-handedly rescued me from that hell house and raised me into a decent, I think, person. I think you'll do fine with your own kid. And you care, you love him so much. I'm sure the little guy will be happy to have you as a mommy. Cecilia gently brushed her baby's head, a little more reassured. Thanks, Hersh. I'll probably mess up a few times, but I'll do my best to give him a better childhood than we ever had. It'll be a bumpy road, but I wouldn't trade this for anything. I'm gonna do everything I can to raise him to be the happiest boy in the world. Oh my goodness. Look at that. The little baby giggled in response and snuggled closely to his mom. There was determination in her eyes as she held him close and hummed contentedly into his ear. There was no doubt that she will do her child justice and probably spoil him silly. Hershel's chuckle broke through their quiet, happy moment. I can't believe I'm an uncle now. I'm starting to feel old. I sure hope he doesn't pick up any of your bad habits as he grows up. I can barely deal with one of you. Uncle Hershel will be the funniest uncle you'll ever have. And don't get ahead of yourself yet. You still haven't named the little guy yet. You've been procrastinating on that for months. Cecilia spluttered nervously. I'm not good with names. How do parents even decide what to call their kids? There are too many options. You keep telling me my ideas are dumb. Stop trying to name your kid after cake, sis. I know you're a baker and all, but there's no way in hell I'm gonna introduce my nephew as tiramisu. Or eclair, or Swiss, or sponge. Especially that fucking sponge. Cecilia mumbled begrudgingly to herself. It's a good cake. Your child is not a cake. Please take this seriously. Cecilia paused, quiet for a few long moments where she gently brushed her child's hair. Her eyes suddenly lit up as she grinned. Sissel. Sissel. Hershel rolled the world off his tongue. Blah. Fucking globe out of nowhere. It's just blah. Blah. Hershel rolled the word off his tongue as though testing how it sounded. Cecilia? Sissel? It's just your own name with a little L at the end. He'll grow up to be a lovable beauty like his mom. What's so wrong with that? VHS tape spluttered and static started fogging through the screen again. Cecilia's voice could be heard whispering softly at her newly named child. I love you, Sissel. No matter what happens, just know that I'm so happy to have you with me. I hope I can be a good mom to you. Oh, brother. Television powered down with a low whine as the video ended. The cottage was quiet and still. Oh, there he is! Tears slowly fell from Sissel's cheeks and landed on his hands and lap like little raindrops. Hello, these are my friends, John, Owen, Philip, Ginny, and Sponge. He sniffed, shoulders shaking as he tried to collect himself. Cecilia Bradley's warm voice still echoed in his head as he slowly wiped his eyes. Oh my God. I had a mom. Sissel's heart lurched against his chest. All this time he thought his parents never cared for him. All those years he spent wandering the streets and feeling like unwanted trash. All this time he had a mother who held him with such warmth and love. Mom. This felt like such a foreign word to him, but it was also something he desperately longed for. Sissel clutched his arms close to his chest and sobbed quietly to himself, alone in his abandoned cottage. Years of frustration, pain, and longing suddenly flooded out as he cried and cried and cried. Wow. God damn, dude. It took a while before he felt steady enough to stand up again. The sun was already falling low on the horizon when Sissel stepped outside of the cabin's rotting doorframe. Remy followed him outside and glanced at him curiously. Are you feeling alright?
Yeah, I'm still processing it all. It's a lot to take in.
His head was still a mess of feelings he couldn't quite make sense of. Everything just felt heavier. Sissel sighed.
It's just, when I see my mom and Hershel being so happy in that video, I can't help but think, why am I not there? I should be with them, together, and happy with my family. But I'm still here, alone in the woods. I still grew up on the streets without a home.
Sissel clawed at his chest in frustration and sighed. That video of his mother felt like such a fantasy.
I wish I was there.
Oh, he made a wish. Oh, buddy. Oh, mama, I've been Sticks brought to you by Creed. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. I know where your mother is.
Huh?
I can take you to her. No, 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 no!
Oh, God!
The remnant grinned and suddenly disappeared into the forest trail. Follow me.
Wait up! Is this another ghostly, life-changing discovery? Because I'm not sure if I'm ready.
Sissel panicked slightly at the realization that the creature was nowhere in sight. With a sigh, he took off running down the forest trail towards Bradley Lake. No, 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 no! Oh my God! Sissel skidded to a stop at the lake's edge to find the creature staring out into open water. Remember how Sissel said he couldn't fucking swim? Oh, Christ! Sissel skidded to a stop. I'd already said that. No, I didn't. Sissel skidded to a stop at the lake's edge to find the creature staring out at the open water. He followed his gaze curiously, but there was only the gentle waves of Bradley Lake lapping up in the afternoon air.
What are you looking at?
There's something in the water. Something you have to see for yourself. No! 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 No, I don't want to see. I don't want to know. But I want to know. The creature waved its head in a beckoning gesture. Come on, follow me. I'll show you. Sissel only stared, perplexed, as the creature began walking straight into the water and slowly disappeared beneath the surface. I don't think this is a good idea. I mean, I can't even swim. I'll probably fall over and drown or something! The remnant chuckled, its voice echoing through the quiet forest air. Don't worry, I'll catch you. The water's only waist deep anyhow. Come on. Come, you have to see this for yourself. You said you wanted to know what happened to your mother, didn't you? I did, but this doesn't seem... Sissel hesitated, staring into the dark waters apprehensively. What would this even accomplish? And again, this ghost thing did help him find the answers he was looking for before. With a sigh, Sissel kicked off his shoes and socks to the lake's shady shores before reluctantly wading into the cold water. Oh, Christ! The water was chill to the touch. Sissel winced as he carefully stepped further out into the lake, and his shorts getting soaked and cold. True to his word, the water was only waist deep here. Sissel felt dumb and kicked around the lake mud, feeling through the wet dirt and branches with his toes. What exactly am I supposed to be looking for here? He paused, the anxiousness rising when nobody responded. Hello? Ghost, you still there? Only silence. Sissel swore quietly under his breath, continuing kicking around the lake bed aimlessly. If the damn ghost was going to ditch him like this, he might as well... Huh? He felt his toe brush up against something hard and cold in the water. It was too solid to be another tree branch. Something about it felt strangely out of place in this lake. Sissel took a deep breath before crouching down and fishing blindly in the muddy water. Oh, here we go. A flash of white made his heart jump in his chest. Out from the dark waters was this long silvery bone of an adult femur. Sissel immediately felt very nauseous. What is this? You said I'd find where my mom... Realization hit him like a truck. He clamped his mouth shut as he felt sick threaten to creep up his throat. Oh, shit. Hold up. This is what you wanted to show me? This can't mean what I think. There's got to be something else. Why did you... The water suddenly erupted with dozens of dark, disembodied arms. The lake water sprayed everywhere as tendrils slithered through the waves like a mass of serpents. The remnant's cackling was unbearably loud as Sissel felt countless hands roughly grabbing at every part of him as they could reach. He couldn't even scream before his arms dragged him beneath the water surface. Completely helpless, Sissel could do nothing as he felt himself being dragged deeper and deeper into the depths of Bradley Lake. And then there was nothing. Only black. You son of a bitch! Really? You... It's not even fucking funny. It's not even close to fucking funny. Logically speaking, either there's branching paths and we just happen to get a bad one or the beginning of a bad ending, or if you don't shut up, I'm gonna throw you into nothing. I'm not gonna fucking do anything to you. I couldn't, and I wouldn't dare say something that I would supposedly do online. This is either the beginning of a branching path, that this is the bad ending, or something's gonna happen in the next update that's gonna save him. So... What?! All I can say is, Shirokoi said that he should have the rest of Sissel's route finally finished by the end of the summer. At least that's his plan. The end of summer couldn't come fast enough. Because... This is hitting me way too goddamn hard. I gotta get off. I gotta get offline. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Whenever the fuck that happens, right? So, oh yeah, this could be a bad ending, because he did say it was part A or some shit. I don't know. Bye, everyone. I gotta go. I gotta go. Bye.